Sorry, I just realized that my microphone was way, way louder than I intended it to be, so I went ahead and fixed that. But also, come on! Come on! Every time! Why does it have to be Chihiro? Why? I don't know how long it took me to fully comprehend the reality of what I was looking at. But as soon as I did... I'm with you, Makoto. A wild, almost primeval scream escaped from my mouth. Can it at least be Toko that killed her so I can kill Toko? I feel like it's most likely Toko anyways, because Toko's obsessed with Bikuya. And if she thought... I could see Toko going full yandere and killing Chihiro. Tried to suppress my screaming, but it was useless. It surged out of me, like water from a spring gushing out of the ground. Bikuya, on the other hand.
Very strange.
Most unusual, don't you think? He was totally calm, almost like he was watching it all unfold on the TV screen.
I see.
Look, Chihiro's corpse has been suspended somehow. And something's written on the wall in blood. Very cleanly, by the way, which is kind of weird. Bloodlust. Such a brutal way to kill someone. No, this is beyond brutal. Wouldn't you agree? They killed her. How could it not be brutal? No, that's not my point. This murder is far too bizarre for any everyday amateur to have committed it. Unlike with Sayaka, this murder was not a crime of passion or necessity. It's almost as if whoever did it for fun. You see what I mean, don't you? What? He's not wrong. My head was swimming. I was still reeling too, confused to understand what he was trying to say. And before I could even clear my head...
What the heck?
Hey, I heard screaming. Did something... Oh my god, Chihiro! Hey, that's not the same ding dong ding dong.
A body has been discovered.
You don't say.
After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do right now is I need to save. So I don't end up screwing myself over. I can't believe they killed Chihiro. Why is it everyone I like? I knew it was coming. That was the worst part. I knew it had to be Chihiro. It just had to be. Because that's just how this game is.
What?
Ah, that's right. You were unconscious during Sayaka's, so you don't know about it. What you just heard was the body discovery announcement. Apparently, when 3 or more people discover a body, an announcement plays to let everyone know. I imagine it's so that the search for the culprit can proceed fairly for everyone involved. Proceed fairly? The body discovery announcement? Then Chihiro really is...
Naturally.
dead. Yes. Before you start screaming your head off, go round everyone up. It seems another game has begun. Another life or death game to uncover a killer. I was so sad. Taka bolted out of the locker room. As everyone made their way to the scene, it felt as if no time passed at all. It was like my sense of time had just taken wing and flown away. When I finally came back to myself, I saw everyone had the same look of confusion, fear, and anger. We all just stood there, gathered around Chihiro's body.
Damn.
I couldn't keep her safe. So there's another victim! Which means we are now in the same position once again. Fuck, man.
What the?
What the fuck is this? It's a dream! This is a dream! It's all just a dream! In fact, I haven't been born yet! I don't have any memory of being alive! Shut up. For now, pay attention to the wall. I said it once already. There's a word written there. I know I can read, you dingus. Yes, it says bloodlust.
So...
I know it's not any kind of dying message because it's very clear she didn't write it. But you know, that thing going on about writing bloodlust and blood, doesn't it sound kind of familiar? A murderous fiend who kills again and again using such a bizarre and brutal method. And at the seat of crime writes the word bloodlust and it's a victim's own blood. They're like a ghost, attacking suddenly and then slipping away before the police can catch up to them. And what kind of nickname did the internet give such a mysterious killer? What? Genocide Jack! Genocide Jack, the murderous fiend whose grisly attacks were famous all across the country. The ultimate murderous fiend, creating a reputation of abnormal, downright, and cruel killings.
What is this?
Then is this some copyright killer trying to imitate Genocide Jack's style? But why would anyone do that? Perhaps it's the work of the real Genocide Jack. What? The real? Wait, are you saying Genocide Jack is here at this school?
No way!
There's no way. But going as far as to write bloodlust at the scene, I'm surprised at their stupidity.
Well,
I can't imagine a worse situation than dealing with a stupid murderer. What is it now? Toko! Hina was pointing at the entrance to the girls' locker room. Toko was the last to arrive, and now she was just standing there. No. Why? Why? Hey, Oddme Gaming. How's it going? Why? Kadunk. She fainted. That did not sound good. Toko! Hina rushed over to the collapsed Toko and started trying to shake her awake. Toko, are you okay? Come on, wake up! Oh, that's right. I just remembered what she said about how she faints anytime she sees blood.
Oh.
So she is hemophobic. I imagine she does not watch too many horror films then. It's going good, I'm glad to hear. This isn't a violation of the rules, right? I mean, technically, she passed out somewhere besides her room. No, I think this should be okay. The regulations prohibit sleeping, like on purpose. I'm playing Danganronpa, if you've never seen the game before. Essentially, a bunch of kids get locked into a school, and murders go afoot. And right now, my third favorite character is now the third person to die. Yep. Let's be real, Cyclone. You knew it was gonna happen. I liked the character, so obviously they were gonna die. So since she didn't faint on purpose, it doesn't count. Gotcha. I know what happens at Chapter 1 and who dies. We're actually past Chapter 1. If you want to avoid spoilers, I am going to be continually playing the game, and I'm actually at Chapter 2 right now, towards the end, because we just discovered who dies in Chapter 2. Now I get to have the super fun of hunting down the killer, which I'm happy to do, because I'm glad to hunt down a killer for my favorite character, at least.
Just a second.
Toko, can you hear me? Hey, you gotta wake up! As if she'd heard her, Toko suddenly shot awake. As in, she literally jumped from where she was lying. It was such a strange reaction, I was at a total loss for words. She leapt straight into the air, changing her stance as she did. In no time flat, she was just standing up with her tongue out, like a weirdo. Ignoring the physical contortion she had to go through, her motions were totally haphazard.
Huh?
What? Sorry about that. I was just so shocked, you know. It happens, right? Was I the only one? Toko, are you okay? I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah. Whoa. Is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? What is going on with Toko? Because that's not normal. I think she has like a multiple personality disorder, and that's part of why I think she was the one who killed her.
What the heck?
She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top, inning, and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies.
Well,
This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different. No. Everything's fine. At least the strutter's all gone. That's a good thing, right?
I see!
It's clear to me that everything is not fine. Your eyes seem strangely vacant. It might be best if we take her back to her room for the time being.
so,
I don't mind taking her, but could someone help me? If you need help, I don't mind. Taka, could you help me? Huh? She totally ignored me. Very well. You take care of the girl and the rest of us can begin investigation right away. Can I assume no one has a problem leaving Sakura and Mondo on guard duty again? Hold on a second. Rushing into an investigation. The mastermind isn't behind that. After what happened last time, surely you realize that.
Don't make me repeat
There are no
myself.
questions that Chihiro was murdered by someone among us. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Of course!
Right as rain! But don't take it as a bad thing. It's just a fact of life.
Yahoo!
That's how graduation works! Then it happened again? Is that what you're saying? That another one of us killed a fellow classmate? What? Does that freak you out? You guys got no balls, you know that? Is there just nothing down there at all? Well, I'll let you pray to mine if you want. Actually, I don't have any either. Sorry.
Stop talking.
And give us what you came here to give us. You did bring it, right? I sure did, chum.
It's
The-
the Monokuma file!
I know how much you must be looking forward to it.
See ya later!
So please do your very tippy-top best on this investigation.
No way!
Do we really gotta do another investigation? Examining the corpse of our friends. Having to suspect all our other friends.
Why?
I hate this. I can't take it anymore.
Oh,
I hate it too.
Help me!
I've had enough, man. I'm getting out of here.
Hey!
Where do you plan on going? There's nowhere to run.
Such ignorance.
Just accept it already. After all, what is just a liquid? A dead body is a simple object. You are very enthusiastic about all of this, are you not?
Naturally.
How can I not be? If we don't unmask the culprit, we all die. That's true, but to jump into it so soon.
What?
What? Do you want to die?
Such
Fine.
ignorance.
Then go off and die somewhere. Right now. Go ahead. You're a waste of space.
Damn you!
A dead body is an object.
Piece of shit!
Chihiro wasn't an object. Show a little respect or I'll beat some into you.
Calm down.
Everyone stop bickering. Listen, there's some truth in what Byakuya said.
Because
If we don't solve this mystery and find the killer, our own lives are forfeit. And if Byakuya is right, then Genocide Jack is somehow the one who killed Chihiro.
that's right.
Then unless we do something, more victims could start piling up. What? Forget more victims. If we mess this all up, we're dead meat.
Hey! Hey!
Hold on. If that's your worry, you don't gotta worry any longer. In one killing game, the guilty party may only kill a maximum of 2 people. What? I don't remember any rule like that.
Actually,
I just came up with it. I mean, if one person went around and killed everyone, your lovely student life would be all over, right? Oh, that's awesome. But go ahead and please don't spoil that. We're trying to keep this spoil free. Because, I'm obviously playing through it, so. The new rule has been added to the regulations menu. Oh boy.
so then.
In that case, why not limit it to 1 person?
Hey!
Well, in a good mystery, you don't want to miss out on at least the potential of a serial killer angle. Just one would totally murder that possibility. What's the poster in the back? Why is that? So it's the same poster that's in the men's the men's locker room, but in this women's locker room. And I'll be honest, I know there's something weird about it, but I can't look at anything yet. Because we've been in the talk the entire time, so.
Punishment is waiting
Farewell
for
for-
you.
Farewell for now. I'll catch you guys at the class trial. I can't understand his thinking, but if we can kill up to 2 people, then one more person's life could still be in danger. Changing the rules as we go along? That's Monokuma's style, man. Which is definitely not good. We need to uncover the culprit before something else happens. Is that your favorite dead? Yes, it is. It's Chihiro, exactly like I knew was gonna happen, because that's all that happens in this game.
You son of a bitch!
You need to shut the fuck up.
So,
Well, for now, Taka and me are gonna drop off Toko in her room. Yep, as you can tell, it is indeed Chihiro. No, forget scrims. This is more important, right, guys? No, I definitely understand. You guys are gonna go ahead and kick butt at scrims, though, anyways. Well, Hina's alive. You're right. At least I still have Hina, but I did spend more time with Chihiro, and I did really think Chihiro was cute. Nice. I'm gonna get dropped off. Toko, by the way,
to be done.
Toko like fell, hit the ground, and went crazy. Oh, just a warning, if you are gonna watch the VOD, I did goof up, and at the start my microphone was way too freaking loud. So, sorry about that. I'm apologizing right now. We have no time to stand around here. We must begin an investigation. Too sweet. I don't know how to say that word because I've never used that word, but I'm gonna say too sweet. If we do not solve the mystery who killed Chihiro,
Is that okay?
then we will quickly follow her into the afterlife. That's true. I hate this, but if I want to survive... Wow! Dude, Chihiro got, like, killed in the most brutal way. That's a bloody weight on the ground. Wait a second. That looks like a really heavy weight. How could somebody lift that up? Please tell me Sakura is not the killer. Me and everyone else. We have to do it. We don't have any other choice. First of all, I better check on the Monokuma file to see exactly what's going on. Yeah, blood is hot pink. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's just to make it really obvious where it is. The victim was Chihiro Fujisaki. The time of death is estimated to be around 2 a.m. The blood was discovered in the girls' locker room on the 2nd floor of the school. The cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object, which we see right there. She was killed instantly. At least she was killed instantly and didn't suffer. That's all it says. Well, it's not like there's any point complaining about it. No matter what, I gotta do what I gotta do. Monokuma file has been added to the truth points. Hey, Makoto, do you have a second? Huh? Did you need something from me?
Naturally.
Of course. Life without purpose is quite dull, you know. So what did you need? I'm gonna let you cooperate with me during my investigation. Huh?
What?
I'm purchasing your talent. The same talent which allowed you to solve Sayaka's case. Really, it was kind of a Yoko that did it, but okay. Solve? No, I just...
Stop talking.
You seem to have some limited use, which is why I've chosen you. You have the honor of contributing to my investigation. So, you're inviting me to come with you? You're doing this in the most arrogant way possible, though.
Let's go.
Now then, shall we get started? But we need to get moving. There's no tight point in standing around. I don't really know what just happened, but it looks like I'll be working with Bikuya on this one. How heavy's the weight? There's a dumbbell on the floor, and there's a blood stain, because it's a blunt object, and it looks like she was hit with it. The Monokuma's file said blow to the head with a blunt object is what killed her. Does that mean the dumbbell was actually used as a murder weapon?
That's right.
I don't imagine it could be anything else. See, I need to know the weight of it, because that looks like a very heavy dumbbell, and the only person who would ever be able to carry it would be Sakura. Since it's in the women's locker room, and you can't go into the other locker rooms. This poster's got some blood on it. It must have happened during the murder. So it doesn't actually say anything about that. The word bloodlust is written on the wall in blood. What's the meaning behind it? Bloodlust. Nope, not saying anything. Dude had a real complex about being weak. You heard Chihiro talk about it, right? All I need is to get stronger. Oh no! Was Chihiro working with Sakura and Sakura was like, I'll train you, and then Sakura killed Chihiro? Oh, sad boys. Yeah, I do remember she said that more than once. Sure did. Which, I guess, explains the trip down here. But did she really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't that strong.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I haven't really thought about that stuff. The cause of Chihiro's complex. I can't help but wondering what it might be. Mondo's account has been added. I use this locker room all the time. Now it's become the site of Chihiro's death. But why was she killed in the locker room? Actually, if you think about it, she could have been killed somewhere else and then carried here. She was very light, that is true. But it wouldn't be hard for someone to carry her, but still.
Well,
I think she came in here on her own, by her choice. What makes you say that? She'd been talking a lot about lately how she wanted to get stronger. So you're saying she came here to exercise? But according to the Monokuma file, apparently she was killed around 2 in the morning. Would she really have been exercising that late?
perhaps.
Hina or myself are usually in the locker room during the day, so she was probably avoiding it then. Avoiding it? Although we invited her to join us more than once, she never showed up. So I can only assume she was trying to avoid us. And instead came to exercise in the middle of the night. Oh, and instead came to exercise in the middle of the night?
However,
Perhaps. But it's difficult for me imagining she would come alone. She did want to start exercising, but she specifically mentioned she couldn't do it by herself. She needed support from others. So you're saying she could have come here in the middle of the night to train in secret, but that she also would have come with someone else. That's a possibility, I think. Sakura's account has been added to your handbook. Now I believe it's time for us to move on. Huh? Already?
What?
New clues won't magically appear by standing around here. We need to check every aspect of this case. That's true, but
Let's go.
if you're satisfied, hurry up and let's proceed. He's so pushy. I got caught up with the wrong person this time. If she was killed outside with blunt force, there's no way we wouldn't see blood somewhere else, right? Huh? So this place is related to the investigation? Figure it out for yourself. It's no fun if you don't, right? Well, do we see any blood anywhere? Let's go ahead and check out this, because does it tell me who signed in last? If I remember right, this card reader is meant to work with our handbooks, right?
What?
Do you have an issue with it? If so, you should take it up with Monokuma. So, it was just a rule that Celeste imposed and suggest everybody followed. The only rule was you cannot fall asleep outside of your dorms. Or outside of the dorms. So that was literally the only rule. And then past midnight, I believe, or sorry, at night, the dining room... I thought the dining room was supposed to be locked. And you weren't allowed to go in. But that doesn't line up with our original... Whatever, that's a different thing. Yeah, it's you cannot be outside and fall asleep. Otherwise, it's considered sleeping in class. He said that quickly and sharply and clapped his hands together.
Did you?
You called for me? Has he been domesticated?
That's right.
It seems that Makoto has a question for you.
You need something?
Sure, what's up? Well, it's just about this card reader.
Yep.
Yes, the card readers have all been designed to interface with each of your e-handbooks. You can only enter the locker room corresponding to the gender listed in your individual handbook. And it's impossible for 2 people in a row to go through while the door is unlocked. Correct.
Unbelievable.
If there were some erotic terrorist on the prowl, the ceiling-mounted Gatling gun would initiate a Swiss cheese slaughter. And the school regulations prohibit anyone from lending someone else's book, their handbook, correct?
Of course.
Correctly correct. So then, that means only girls can go into the locker room and only boys can go into the boys' locker room. Yes, he literally told us at the beginning of the chapter that that was true. In other words, Chihiro's body being found in the girls' locker room. Sakura, whatever her name is, one of her models, I think it's the model, and it doesn't show her pupils. I don't know. I haven't looked that close on most of the people's drawings at all, to be completely honest. In other words, Chihiro's body being found in the girls' locker room means, hey Makoto, I can see right through you. See right through me? Allow me to tell you what you're thinking. Since Chihiro was found in the girls' locker room, the killer must have been able to get in there.
So in other
As
words,
such, the killer must be one of the girls. Did I get it right? Except, yeah, I was gonna say it's a sprite. I think I'm just thinking of them as because they are flat, but I don't think it matters too much. Technically, if you kill somebody and take their handbook, the eyes are a little weird. I haven't like looked super deep into them. You're making me look at eyes now, though. If the killer kills somebody and picks up their handbook off of them, yeah, but it came back immediately, Cyclone. I don't know what's going on. And takes it off of them. Technically, nobody took their handbook, and they didn't sneak in being a second person behind the first person.
such
Good
ignorance.
lord, you're simple. But how am I wrong? You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer's been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. Oh, look, he's talking about exactly what I just said. Only the act of loaning is prohibited. Borrowing somebody else's is perfectly fine. I would expect nothing less from the prodigal son of the noble Tagami family. Or Tagami family. So you managed to sniff out the loophole in the regulations. Knowing you, I bet you created it on purpose, didn't you? To add a little more excitement to things. You're treating me like a puny little appetizer instead of the main course that I am. Now then, since the dead can't actually talk, they're not people anymore. They're things.
Yep.
Get it? Got it? Good. Which is why it doesn't count for two people going in back to back, because she was dead when she moved in there. Wait, hold on. You're saying that's a loophole, but in order to borrow something from someone, then that means someone would have to loan it. So,
Why you?
so sleepy. Just listening to you makes me want to pass out. Be more like Byakuya and get your poop together. Really, Monokuma?
Unbelievable.
Or else I'll charge you with criminal negligence. No more questions. Figure out the rest your own damn self.
That's fine.
Well, I know you're unfortunately lacking in mental faculties, so I'll fill you in myself. Let's head to the main hall. The main hall? That'll help you understand what's going on. Card reader has been added to the truth bullets. We came to the main hall. I mean, that is indeed where he wanted us to go. So, okay. So, what are we looking for here? Does that mean I have to figure it out for myself? Why, yes. Yes, it does. Could there be something inside? And there's 3 handbooks. So, you finally found them. Huh? Did you know these were here, Byakuya? I happened to find them myself by chance the other day. It seems that there's a system in place where handbooks of dead students get delivered to this mailbox. So, then these 3 handbooks belong to Junko, Leon, and Sayaka. You can go ahead and confirm it yourself. I immediately turned on one of the handbooks, and when I did, it tells you the name of their people. Sayaka. You're right. This is Sayaka's handbook. Now do you understand? This is the key to the loophole I revealed earlier. Yeah. I feel like I'm starting to get it. You should pay closer attention. Blah, 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 blah. I see. Yeah. Now I understand.
What?
Hold on a second.
Very
What's wrong?
strange.
That's strange. One of the handbooks won't turn on. Is it broken? Whose is it? The other handbook showed Junko's name when I started up. Then the one that won't turn on must be Leon's, right?
I see.
It would make sense, yes. After all, he did get pummeled with dozens and dozens of baseballs. Pummeled with baseballs. No, no, no. Can we not? Can we not right now? The memory of it came flooding back. That cruel punishment which led to Leon's death. execution that the mastermind concocted. A cruel, heartless death. You're right. It wouldn't be surprising for that handbook to break during that kind of assault.
Damn it!
Hey, hey! Hey, hey, hey!
No!
Hey! What? That e-handbook is essential to student life here. Crucial, integral, instrumental, a super big deal. There's no way it would break that easily. Well, thank you, Monokuma. But it did.
That's impossible!
If I said it wouldn't break, then it wouldn't freaking break. It can withstand up to 10 tons of pressure, and it's waterproof up to 100 meters, okay? I don't care how many baseballs you hit with it, it wouldn't do crap! Oh, but, even my amazing handbook does one single weak point.
I
It does.
can't hear
But
you!
it's a secret! I wouldn't want you to go breaking any more handbooks.
What?
Then Leon must have broken it somehow without realizing its weakness was. Yes? Hard to say. You know what I think? I think this handbook isn't actually broken.
Well, what?
But you might ask, how could that be? Leaving the question hanging in the air, Monokuma disappeared. What just happened? Monokuma said it's not broken, but it's an undeniable fact that it's not turning on. My guess is somebody else swapped a different one, and that's actually... No, I don't know.
That's fine.
Well, I don't see any connection to the case, so it doesn't matter for now. I think so? Either way, something about it still bothers me. I'm not sure if it's actually Leon's handbook, because we don't know for sure. What if somebody swapped out, or put... What if that's actually Chihiro's handbook? Okay then, that should be enough to get things rolling. Let's begin our investigation in earnest and track down the culprit. Yeah, we need to find out who killed Chihiro. To be exact, not quite. Huh, not quite? Okay, there's nothing else important in here. What do you mean by that, Byakuya? To be exact, not quite. Certainly I want to reveal Chihiro's killer, but more precisely, I want to discover the true identity of Genocide Jack. Then, you really think... You truly believe Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Absolutely. I have no doubt that Genocide Jack is the culprit in this case. That murderous fiend is Genocide Jack, right?
What?
There's nobody else it could be. A murderous fiend who kills again and again using a bizarre and brutal method. They're like a ghost, attacking suddenly and then slipping away before the police can catch up to them. And what nickname did the internet give to this mysterious serial killer? Genocide Jack. They say he's killed thousands of people. That's gotta be an urban legend. Oh, that's Makoto. Whoopsie. Still, could it really be a demented psychotic killer like that? You're not wrong to wonder. But words mean little right now. I have something that will prove it, and I can show you. Are you going to show me?
Don't make me repeat.
And I have basis to believe in that. I assure you, Genocide Jack is one of us. Assuming that they've been following it, yes, everybody should know everything in Chapter 1. And also, it's kind of obvious because we, again, went over the fact that Junko and Sayaka died, and also Leon was the killer because we talked about his execution. Is there really proof? There's somewhere I'd like to take you. This will prove all the evidence you need.
It's all clear now.
Evidence that Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro. Evidence? Does something like that really... Ah! Me too. I don't know who this voice that is. Big trouble! I need your help!
I don't have time to
We're
play
busy.
with you.
Leave us alone.
'Cause I mean,
But it's an emergency! Emergency! Come on, please, you gotta help me! What is going on? This is a serious emergency. Please, please, you gotta help me. I understand poor Leon because it was really brutal the way he died, but at the same time, he very clearly went out of his way to murder somebody. It wasn't just like he was attacking her back after she tried killing him. Calm down, okay, Hina?
'cause I mean,
But it's an emergency. An emergency? What happened?
Well,
Something's wrong with Toko. She's acting super strange. Well, I mean, she was acting pretty strange earlier, right? What should we do, Byakuya?
Very strange.
Since it's Toko, I must admit, I'm intrigued. I suppose we can take a second to see what's going on with her.
Don't
you
make
sure?
me repeat myself.
Rude. I didn't expect that. I thought for sure he'd just say no and that'd be the end of it.
Yeah!
Okay, come on, hurry! Wait for us, Hina.
Let's go.
It looks like she headed to the dorms. Toko's room, most likely. You're right. Why am I even walking? Which room's Toko's? This one. Is Toko inside? Some kind of emergency. Can you open the door? Could you open the door? You guys are too slow. I think you're just too fast. So, what's this emergency?
so,
Well, after what happened in the girls' locker room, we left Toko in her room so she could lay down. After a while, we came back to check on her, to see how she was doing. But when we did, it was weird. She refused to come out, and she kept saying all this weird stuff. Weird
That's
stuff?
fine.
We should try talking to her ourselves. Yeah, good idea. Okay. Now can I talk to her? I may as well give it a shot. The door swung open slowly and silently. Holy crap. An aura of negativity flowed out from behind the door, forcing a gasp out of me.
What? Oh, nothing. It's just that, Hina was really worried about you, holding yourself up in your room.
leave me alone.
Yeah, sure thing. But, could you open up, just for a second?
Won't allow it.
Huh?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control.
And just like that, she slammed the door in my face. It does seem like she has a multiple personality thing, where she might be also Genocide Jack, but that doesn't explain how she could pick up a barbell that looked like really, really insanely heavy and kill Chihiro. But I'm guessing they're going to explain that later. But it would make sense because Toko seems like another person who doesn't have a lot of like strength and all that stuff. So like I could see Chihiro going to her to say, hey, let's go work out, I guess. And just like that, she slammed the door in my face. What was that? She's been acting like that the whole time. When I rang a little while ago. I'll drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend. It doesn't make any sense, right? I was afraid to leave her in there, so I tried to bust down her door. But it felt like something was holding it shut on the other side. I couldn't even budge it. Toko was scared enough to even bar her door? Does she think the same thing as Byakuya? Does she think that the serial killer Genocide Jack really murdered Chihiro? I think she is that. And that's what she believes. Is that why Toko's so scared?
But
Whatever it is, I'm really worried about her. Isn't there anyone who might be able to persuade her? Yeah, Byakuya. Byakuya's the only one who could persuade her. Hey, Byakuya, do you think you could ask her to come out of her room? I mean,
That's fine.
sure, whatever. Huh? You're gonna talk to her, Byakuya? Wow, I guess you can be nice when you want to. Byakuya stood in front of the door, not making a sound, and pressed the doorbell. After a few moments,
what do you want?
leave me alone. You're all so annoying.
It's
Ah.
Byakuya.
Byakuya. Oops. I'm sorry. I couldn't keep our promise. Don't worry. Never again. I won't let Genocide Jack ever have control again. And with that, the door slammed shut. Even Byakuya couldn't pull it off. there's nothing else we can do. Let's get back to the investigation. Hey, Byakuya. What was Toko talking about just now? Something about a promise?
What?
Oh, I have no idea. Another one of her delusions, I'm sure. But
Stop talking.
if I say I don't know, that means I don't know. Just let Hina take care of her. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll stay here and keep an eye on her.
Let's go.
Well, without waiting for reply, Byakuya sped away. Byakuya! And I hurried to catch up. I tried to talk to him several times as we walked, but he didn't even look back, let alone say anything. He just kept on walking towards his destination. Finally, his feet brought him to a stop in a certain room. The library? Come on, let's go in. Are we going to that secret room that I didn't get to see earlier? If I remember, on the other side of this door, it's the archive, right? Hurry up and go inside. Oh, here?
Let's go.
It'll all make sense once you're inside. Whoa, there's so many books and files. And so much dust, too.
So, in other words,
I would say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. There's so many files stuck on the shelf. What's in all these things?
that's enough.
Those documents are dangerous. Dangerous? They detail all of the people who control the world from behind the scenes. Dangerous truths for a commoner. You mean like the members of Diet or something? No, I mean like the ones with real power. The Secret Council controlling everything from the shadows. Illuminati! If you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There's some very interesting people in there. You're just kidding, right? Am I? I'll just let it go for now. If you pay attention to your surroundings, I'm sure you'll discover that value for yourself. How many twists do I have? Well, I would like to look at the bookshelf behind him. There's a ton of thick files stuffed on the bookshelf. Yep, Illuminati. Illuminati confirmed. Thinking through looking into them. Let me give you a little warning. Those are filled with graphic, disturbing photos from all kinds of crime scenes. It's the kind any normal person would want to look at. Be careful. Huh? What do you mean? All of those files are investigation reports related to cold cases, including all of the stuff related to Genocide Jack. Those are internal documents for police eyes only. They're not the kind of things you'd expect to leak. Oh. Am I looking at the lamp? Let's look at the lamp! Huh? It's a desk lamp. Oh yeah, it's the same one I saw Bikuyo using at the library for.
What?
Do you have a problem with the lamp before? It was here before, and then I moved it over there. It's too dark over there, so I thought I'd put it to some good use. Oh, I get a coin out of that. Sweet. This pile of junk? There's a wooden box. It's empty. Although, judging by the smudges and the dust, it looks like there was something inside. Gambling fuel kappa. I wonder what it is. Or a pog jump, I guess. There's an extension cord I plugged in there. Provided very useful while I was in the library. An extension cord, huh? Then the last thing's this book. I want to go back and look at the stuff tight with files. Without really thinking about it, I picked one at random. Ah, you have a sharp eye indeed to select that file. Yeah. Huh?
That's right.
That's the report on the presidential assassination. The original is kept at the National Library. It won't be declassified for another 30 years. Are you sure you want to look at it now? There's no telling whose crosshairs you might wind up in for peeking at it. Without making a sound, I returned the file to the shelf. So, are you finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library? The entire reason I was interested in this library is because of this room right here. It's home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. Isn't it magnificent? This can't be for real, right?
Such ignorance.
That's your guys' problem. Anything that doesn't fit your preconceived reality, you label it as a lie. Well, it's not that. It's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but... I mean, isn't that your life in a nutshell? Something at random. A skillful choice. I mean, there's just so much. How could anyone have put all this together? I suppose it goes to show how much Hope's Peak truly wields. Or perhaps, the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. The ultimate RNG manipulator? I wish. It's no use. I can't keep up with all this. It's just too unreal. What's wrong? You still can't believe it. What about you? How can you believe it so easily? Probably because he's already part of the Illuminati, because he's that rich kid, part of that family, whatever. Things like this are usually impossible.
What?
What do you mean, usually? Usual? Normal? Ordinary? Simple? Those things don't exist anywhere in the real world. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything. You don't pull your punches, do ya? Besides, what do you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? But what makes you think your own common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I've reviewed them multiple times, so there is no doubt. Hold on a second. You're saying you've read all of these documents and more than once? But all of this has to be like top secret confidential stuff, so why? My family has a reading room just like this at our home. Ours is bigger, of course, and not as dusty. Huh? Members of the Togami family have access to many variety of government-related documents. That includes foreign powers as well as domestic. How is that possible?
So, in other
I already
words...
told you. There's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of that council, and I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will. But to become such a ruler, I must know all levels of this world, backwards and forwards. So whenever I have time, I like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me. Which is why I can proclaim, without a doubt, that the materials gathered here are the real thing. This is beyond believing or not believing. Takuya is actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind. And what always seemed to interest me the most were these cold case police investigation reports. Reading through these reports always been a hobby of mine ever since I was little. It's excellent exercise. I've solved more than a few of those cases just by reviewing the reports. And among those reports, one of my recent favorites, Genocide Jack cases. As he talked, Byakuya grabbed a specific file from the shelf. Cyclompus.
That's right.
This is the complete case file. Every single report surrounding Genocide Jack's case has been compiled here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin, there are two notable characteristics in every Genocide Jack murder. The first characteristic is that every crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. And the second is that when the victims are murdered, their bodies are suspended a specific way. Bloodlust is written in blood, and the victim's body suspended. It's exactly the same thing that happened to Chihiro. Save your surprise. The best part is yet to come. For the second characteristics, where the victims are suspended. The only ones that knew about that particular fact were the members of the police and higher-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. Huh? In other words, no one in the news, no one online, nobody knew that aspect of each crime. Only key officials and the killer himself knew about the act of mounting the victim. Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse, is it the fact that's around her neck? Her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion. So, how could the killer have known about suspending the victim? Because it is the actual killer.
That's right.
That's the key question. But in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So, in other
Tucker
words...
isn't a copycat killer. It's the real Genocide Jack.
In other words...
That's right. That right there is evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself somewhere among the rest of us. Then, Genocide Jack really is such a brutal, fiendish killer who's really walking around amongst us?
Interesting.
These things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would ever become a little part of our game. Now, don't you think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? You might manage to ferret out a clue or two. It's you. Did you think about that? I mean, that was the other thing I was thinking about. That's the only other option that exists.
Such ignorance.
If you get down on your knees and beg, I might even show you myself. Well, it's time to look at those files. Do I just have to talk to him again? Bikuya, about that Genocide Jack case file. Could you let me see it?
That's fine.
Well, you didn't beg, but I guess it's okay this time. Feel free to look at it in here, but you can't take it with you. Top secret. Bikuya handed me the file, and I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly, my hand stopped. I had reached the page where the photos of each crime scene had been collected. The names of each Genocide Jack victim ran on for several pages. Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Gaku, 23. Kana Isia. Isai, 14. Takashi Yoshida, 30. Multi-stab wounds to his body. Oh my god, it's just a name after name after name. There was no end to it. One thing became perfectly clear as I read. All of the killer's countless victims were killed and suspended in exactly the same way. At the scene of every murder, the word bloodlust was left in each victim's blood. Now take a look at the next page, and you'll find another interesting tidbit. The next page? It's the exact same cut. Okay. Profiling results. All of the crimes took place on either weekdays or at night, or during holidays, either during day or night. The most common time of the killings to take place was on holidays in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it would be suggested that the suspect may be a student. Evidence suggests that the suspect lingered at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic. Like Toko having two personalities. Because an eyewitness had never come forward, it's unlikely there was any external reason for this. This confused behavior suggests that the suspect may potentially suffer from dissociative identity disorder.
So, in other words,
The key point here is that the culprit may have well a split personality. A split personality, like the thing you see on TV? So I'm part of another totally unbelievable story. Speaking of Death Note references, I actually have yet to see... I haven't watched much Death Note. I just know that there's characters in it. But this one is way more unbelievable than anything else up until now. Or maybe it really isn't. I don't know. It feels like my mind's gone numb.
let's go.
Alright, we should get going. What? Where are we going? Anywhere but here. We've finished our business here, haven't we? Wait! Byakuya! As usual, Byakuya turned and left without another word. I hurried out of the library to catch up. I feel like he clearly knew Toko was Genocide Jack forever ago. But part of me also feels like he was the killer and just is making it look like it was her, and she's freaking out and having a meltdown because of it, but I don't know. I could see it going either way. Well, this is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial. Huh? Just all of a sudden like that?
I don't have time to play with you.
Enough of your annoying misapprehensions. Did you really think we'd be working together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own.
Goodbye.
And just like that, he was gone. As quickly as he'd asked me to join him, he'd left. In the end, I felt like I was just some plaything getting tossed around. At the same time, I'd uncovered some really important clues thanks to him. Genocide Jack. He's the one that killed Shihiro. And that murderous fiend is one of us. But who is it? I have to find that out no matter what it takes. Do you really not... How stupid is Makoto? And to do that, there's somewhere I have to investigate one more time. I have to go back to the crime scene, the girl's locker room. I should check the boys' locker room too. And the others might have come up with some info I might find useful while I'm at it. I need to find out everything I can. Sure, I'll talk to Lena.
Da-da-da-da-da!
Hifumi has discovered the evidence revealing the identity of the culprit.
I feel as
Another
if...
stat increase for me. Evidence? What did you find? I cannot reveal that just yet.
That's
But
it.
I
I'm
guarantee
sure
what
of it.
I found will steal the killer's breath from his lungs. Are you sure about that? Oh yeah, Miss Ludenberg said she'd witnessed something worthwhile too. Really? What did she see?
Well,
She refused to
it
tell
would
me.
seem...
It's like when a girl bullies a boy she likes, right? Right? Okay, where's Celeste now? The warehouse by the dorms. She was there, but at the same time, not there. What's it gonna be? Uh-oh. What up with that? There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? Also, that's not the right poster. Why did somebody swap the posters? Oh, you gotta be kidding me, dude. She was killed in the boys' locker room, but moved over to the girls to make it look like it was a girl. Huh. This poster, it's a popular boy band called Tornado. Somehow it doesn't quite fit in the boys' locker room. It also wasn't the poster that was originally there. I know that as a fact. Except it's not letting me take it as a truth bullet. That's not the right poster. The big-breasted swimsuit model is pretty noticeable too. Yeah, that's because it's from the girls' room, or the boys' locker room. Wait, that reminds me. The poster in the other locker room is... That's right, there's definitely something strange about this. The boys' locker room is a popular boy band, and the girls' locker room is a picture of a big-breasted swimsuit model. Could the posters have been switched? Why, yes. Sakura would know more about these, right? Spend a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura?
Of course.
I've used it every day since it opened up. Sometimes Hina and I use it together. Okay, then let me ask you something. Are they swap posters? Why, yes, they are.
I'm sorry.
I can't really say. I never paid any attention to the posters, which means I gotta go talk to Hina about it. But there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. We have protein coffee? In the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix protein powder with coffee and down a glass of it after exercising. Anyway, the other day I spilled some on the carpet in the girls' locker room, and it left a stain. So, how do you swap entire locker rooms? Like, it's not easy to do that. How did you do that? But I don't see any stain on the carpet now.
Of course.
Exactly. I noticed earlier. The stain has disappeared. I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean? As if there was never a stain there to begin with. And it's because it's right, because it's in the boys' locker room. Dude had a real complex. Oh, already read that. Hey, Kyoko. Have you made any progress on your investigation?
Indeed.
Generally
However,
speaking. But I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Something besides the investigation? What is
well,
it? Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder. But
so then,
before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time. Thoroughly. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That's all. I'll be praying for your success. For that, Kyoko turned and left. Time to look at the body again. And her handbook is missing. That's why I think it's the one that's actually turned off, not Leon's. Chihiro. Kyoko said I should examine the body one more time. I really don't want to. No, she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. Poster's there for motivation. Gotta get beach body ready. Cyclone Bliss. Well, I better give it a shot anyways. Let's see. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. The rope is used to prop her up in kind of crucifix position. Huh? The rope has a plug? Is it the extension cord from the library? Wait, so this isn't a rope at all. But the more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that concerns me. Chihiro's fatal injury was a blow to the head, which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. That's right, the issue of being suspended, the fatal blow. First, I didn't see a reason to think about either of them too much. But seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack file, something's not quite right. What does this all mean? Well, the one thing most likely to solve the mystery together is the true nature of the rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. And to figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit and look over again. Plus, it might help to look at the Genocide Jack file one more time. Man, they really, like, hand you these things, don't they? Where's the extension cord? There's a thick layer of dust on top of the desk. Maybe there's some kind of clue here. I guess not. How about the fact that the extension cord is gone? Where's the extension cord? Can I not look at the fact that there's a missing extension cord? Please? I know that. Could you tell me... Huh, the lab cord. Oh, really? It's not plugged in. The lamp's cord isn't long enough. What? Oh, that's right. Fukuya was using an extension cord. But there's no extension cord here now. I wonder if the lamp has been added. So did Fukuya actually do all this just so he had a challenge? He had somebody who might actually have a shot at trying to figure out he was the killer, because otherwise it's no fun? Because I feel like that's something he would also totally do. Let's go around here somewhere. It's gone. Did someone take it out of the archive? The only one who would do something like that. I can't think of anyone but Fukuya. I don't actually know what's through these doors because I don't think I've ever gone into them. Oh, it's just another classroom. Oh, apparently I can't fast travel, so... Might as well talk to him, right?
How unfortunate.
Maybe we should have confessed all our embarrassing secrets after all. Damn it! I'm sorry, Chihiro. It's because I wasn't strong enough. Especially because, what is he doing in here?
Oh, hey, Makoto.
What's up? I haven't been up to anything myself, that's for sure. Definitely haven't looked inside the mailbox. That's total bullcrap. Yeah, I know it's annoying because that's not Leon's handbook. I bet that's not Leon's handbook at all. But I guess it doesn't matter because I can't do crap. It's time to talk to Celeste. Celeste, what are you doing here? This warehouse is amazing. It has absolutely everything that one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towel. There's an endless supply to choose from. I see that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Most
I knew you
unfortunate.
were gonna ask me that. I thought about talking the warehouse itself might misdirect you. I thought talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless. Then you did find something. Very well. I will tell you and only you.
Actually,
Last night, I saw her here. Chihiro was in the warehouse. Yeah, I knew that. She kept going to the warehouse at night for no good reason. What? Really?
indeed.
This was right before nighttime.
What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
She stuffed the jacket into a bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assumed she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it would appear she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this would have ever happened. You get what you deserve, I suppose. So apparently, she's not wrong. Every single person who's died has broken that rule too. That's been murdered, I mean. She went into the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there was no trace of that track jacket or duffel bag that Celeste said she saw Chihiro carrying. Which would mean the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. Trash room again? All over again? It's the fridge say don't see anything noteworthy. Towels, jackets. Looks like they're putting together a good collection. Wait. That doesn't make sense. Sayaka never knew this was open because it opened after she died. So no, that's not the fridge Sayaka mentioned. I don't... Why did that come up? That's like a huge oversight in writing. What? Am I wrong? That said Sayaka, right? I don't know who's on duty today, though. Where's Hina? But where'd Hina go? I thought Hina was supposed to be watching Toko. Or you know what? I should look in the laundry room. Why are you in here, Hina? I thought you were supposed to be watching Toko. Oh, hi, Hina. How's Toko doing? Same as before. She won't come out, and she keeps just mumbling on something about Genocide Jack. So, I just left her there. Left her? My head was all swimmy, and I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah!
Oh, but don't worry. I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Toko's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her. Speaking of which, what are you eating?
Huh?
A donut, of course. What? Of course? There's two things I'm sure God created. Outer space and donuts. Oh my god, I love her face. It's so cool. That's such a cute face. So now I know that she's gonna die next and I'm gonna be sad. Anything happened since you found that lamp? I talked to Celeste and Celeste saw her in the warehouse getting a tracksuit and a duffel bag. So I need to find out where that went. Really? I bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret. Oh, I should have tried to spend more time with her. Come to think of it, who did she spend time with?
Well...
Yeah, she was a bit strange. Didn't really hang out with other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance from us. Actually, Sakura said something familiar. She said that even though you and her... Oh, even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused.
Yeah, totally.
Yep, it's true. And it wasn't just us either. It was like she stayed away from all the other girls. Was she just shy? I don't know. She talked to boys all the time. It's kind of weird to be shy around your own sex, but it's totally fine with the opposite sex. Ah, wait, maybe she was used to guys spoiling her. The law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right? You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl. Hina's account's been added. No, that's... Wait, what? Am I out of time? But I still have questions.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in?
But I don't know where the duffel bag is. I don't know where that tracksuit was. I'm missing so many things.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. The class trial.
Crap.
You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
Begin the class trial, or it's about to begin. The red door is right there. Can I not go in it? I need to look at other things. There's no running away now. The red door. I have no choice but to go through it. Well, I guess I'm supposed to have already gotten everything I need, right? So is everybody ready to... What? Am I blind? Are we missing someone? Toko didn't come yet, did she?
Yo.
Yeah. Toko's not here. And Toko is... You really don't remember?
Come on.
Kidding. I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part to the class trial this time.
What are you gonna
Okie
do?
dokie. I'll go ahead and drag her out here, kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. And just like that, just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. I don't like the main character that much, though. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like the main character is a perfectly fine character. He's just stupid. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible. You're terrible. So now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle onto the elevator and let's get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here.
Hey, come on.
We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
With one last deep breath, I walked towards the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions. I couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sound deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good, good. You're rip-raring to go. I gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well,
Okay then, get this show on the road!
Thrills, chills, kills!
And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. Deadly riddle, a deadly defense, and a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. How come every time I get somebody's skill, it's right before they die? Increases the speed of memorizing a statement, effective during the non-stop delay. Alright. No, that's
Let's
wrong!
begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
Does anybody actually know? If I had to guess, it's the locker room dumbbell.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
That's a fact.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting.
I missed.
That certainly would.
Or Chihiro.
Chihiro's, it appears it was.
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting.
I missed
That
again.
certainly would.
Or Chihiro.
Chihiro's, it appears it was.
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? Of course there's new stuff added. Let's learn about it. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of white noise, the time limit will decrease. So take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to general, it just won't show up. In which case, you can forget about that and just don't worry about it. Bye. Well, I'm on mean, so.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
I like that voice line though.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be 2 defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
You're an idiot.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack's place, which the world at large doesn't know.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
Or you, because you were reading that.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
I love that.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember?
Or
What
hemophobia?
kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
I had that backwards. I had that way backwards.
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
I'm trying to figure out how that guy's gonna die. Because I feel like he's too lazy to actually do anything good for an actual, like, murder. It does seem like a riddle in a way, but I feel like they can just about see it. Genocide Jack is Toko, but isn't Toko. What does it mean? It's not like it explicitly told us less than 5 minutes ago. What is it? It's not split personality. What is it called? What is it? Oh, they're making me spell schizo.
Now I understand.
Why wouldn't they just write the whole word?
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Why wouldn't they have me write split? Why wouldn't they? There's so many better words they could have picked than schizo. Which is just like a gross sounding word, not gonna lie. My first instinct was right. Exactly, Aquafox.
Huh? I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable.
Especially when we saw it earlier
Toko's
today.
strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
One thing shows Toko could have a split personality has to do with her behavior. It literally changed. Could I please pick that? There we go.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
With her tongue out. It's so ridiculous. Where never skip through that.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in.
Put her out.
It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
Yep.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
But it's not her.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She
That's what
told
I
me
thought.
a most interesting story.
That was her deep secret.
She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko? You said you wouldn't tell anyone. What?
Depressing. I still think that Bikuya is actually trying to set it up based off of this, though.
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone.
I don't think she did.
But in spite of that promise,
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me.
That's what I thought.
That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
Right? Right? Everything about this entire one is very messed up.
I tried. I swear I tried to control it, but...
I don't think she's well, I'm not 100% sure whether or not she actually is Genocide Jack. That's a completely different story. Part of me doesn't actually think she is. She just believes that she is. But I don't know.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I don't think it's her.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
Except there's a ton of information I still know that doesn't line up with any of this.
Person? You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A large thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... Oh wow, we're actually gonna get to hear the...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Oh my god! I'm just looking at it as an anime fan, some details, but it's more the anime fan in me. I got it. I'm sorry, I can't take that face seriously. It's so ridiculous. I think it's Byakuya, honestly. I think that he was the one who killed Chihiro. Because we're still missing a couple of details that really matter. Also, I love that they did her eyes that way. They're just so fake.
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality!
Not at all an actual textbook split personality, if I'm not mistaken, but that's a different story.
So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
Oh my god, her face! I love her face so much!
She's so intense.
I don't know.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
That's what I'm trying to figure
This
out.
one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth
It's
lives
a manga split
little
personality.
lie.
That's also correct.
Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Wait, you're telling me that if I had a split personality, I wouldn't get fangs and a really big tongue? Because that's kind of lame. Crush her by pushing the fat guy into her. That's savage. Still love that face. Face shaking intensifies to the left too. This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid?
Wow, Monokuma, that was harsh.
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death.
Except
There's
she's not.
clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed.
Except that you're the one who murdered, and it's because you're part of the Illuminati.
Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any
Well,
of us to believe you?
In this case, there's no reason for there to actually be multiple murderers, because only one of them would get to escape anyways. So this is one of the few occasions where there shouldn't actually be more than one murderer, but it's very, in my opinion, very clear that Byakuya is actually trying to throw her under the bus.
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
I love how Makoto is just like, just thinking. I'm gonna just think over here. Just got nothing, man. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. That's because it's not true. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. Desk lamp, status of the dead body, disappearing stain.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Okay. Except they only gave me one thing to
Sorry,
click, so
but
it's
I
gotta be
didn't
the
kill
lore.
anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us
Oh, it's
to
gotta be
believe
status,
it?
because that's the one that had the rope
Oh,
one.
an alibi, huh?
When you compare your past murders to this, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need?
Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry, but I...
You say that, but
Perhaps if you had an... Oh, an alibi, huh? Now...
When you compare your past murders to the modus operandi matches completely.
Stop
What
bouncing
more
my
proof?
bullet.
give it up. You killed her.
Not gonna lie, I actually like that sped up laugh
You
though.
say that, but
Perhaps if you had an... Oh, an alibi...
When you compare your past murders to the modus operandi matches.
No, it doesn't. Well, on the other ones that we saw pictures of too, it used very
Are the
specific
methods
scissors
of
too.
murder really exactly the same?
But I think it's gonna
I'm
talk
not
about
so
the fact
sure
that it was
about
rope
that.
slash actually an
I
extension
think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
cord. Right? Isn't her laugh amazing?
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
What a pose!
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything.
She's picky about her scissors too.
But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
I get what you're saying, Aqua.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
For reference, I believe the reason they didn't do 3D is because it's really hard to do first off, it's way cheaper and easier to do this. There's less animation, it takes less resources. But also, 3D, in my opinion, will never ever capture the anime look quite properly at all. But that's just my opinion. There are plenty of people who disagree with me. There's one clear difference between that, and that's the victim's fatal injury. They always stabbed to death on the other one.
The cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right? Ah, yes! That is remarkable. Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their methods?
Not total 3D, it just made an angle totally look flatter than typical designs. Yeah, this one doesn't have an issue showing you the flat. Like, it doesn't make it look fake 3D, it actually just turns it. It's kind of like Paper Mario in a way, but it doesn't actually play it into the game that way. They're just, it's an artistic decision. I actually love how it looks.
And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking? So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That quote is amazing. That's right. The second difference is how she was suspended. It's what was used to suspend her that was weird. It should be scissors.
Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
It's actually an extension cord.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
Scissors.
Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
Only heard of it, things of it, and never actually played it. That's playthrough. This is actually my first playthrough, so I'm actually loving it. It's amazing. If you ever want to play through it, I would say don't watch the whole thing. But if you just want to watch a playthrough, I also have VOD stored too. So
what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement.
So she might actually be Genocide Jill, but I knew that it wasn't her that did the killing. But that doesn't make this much better.
Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's 2 differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each genocide.
They're all
Jack
guys,
case.
right? Am I wrong? They're all guys?
There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Rude. There was a pattern that was, and Chihiro didn't fit it. I think they're all guys that was murdered.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Yeah, they're all guys. I knew it.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
I think I found my loot emote. That might be it. That might be it. We'll see if I can make that work. But also, that explains why they specifically went through such a long list of names and not just, like, there's so many of them. They actually decided they wanted to name every single person.
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
She really likes
I
noodles.
have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly
Savage.
cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Especially one she probably couldn't pick up.
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Except I have at least 3 pairs of scissors in my in-game inventory, which I'm betting I could give to her as a gift, but that kind of feels messed up, not gonna lie.
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, so now I'm 110% sure she is, without a doubt.
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime!
She is 100%, without a doubt, Genocide Jack. I was wrong on that one.
Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you? Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
What?
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Except for
Yeah.
Kikuya.
That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
There is one other person, Kikuya. I love how it shows up as Gem Slate Jill. Wait, why can I select dead people?
Here's my answer.
Bots only get in the way of scissors,
Yakuya.
not wrong.
It's possible you
Yakuya.
could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was
May I have a recess?
because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
Yep.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me.
Yes,
Then
it
I
does.
must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
In the locker rooms, they're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? He was trying to guide us into thinking, oh, it couldn't be a guy, there's no way.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy,
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Except you didn't know it was Chihiro?
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
Except how did he know Chihiro was
on
the
the
one who died?
contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There was a clear contradiction in what he just said. Nobody knew Chihiro was the one who died before we saw the dead body. Like, what? Is this for real? How are people not connecting that? You can add something called Truth Flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you memorize the weak spot. Can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use it as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction when you're loaded, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you have to use your keen wits, don't you? Well, thank you for the sass, Mr. Narrator. If you don't use a flashback, you won't repeat anything. Okay, how do I get into the flashback?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
So let me... Wait a second. Move the mouse wheel up or down to /n select. What? Okay, I have to hold down the
But
left
he was
button.
acting weird. How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd take me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found
Oh,
the
that's
body.
not the right one.
Shoot!
So, you said but he was acting weird. If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's unnatural. The victim.
Was Chihiro, so of course I would suggest we.
There
Do I
was no
shoot it
time.
back at
What's so
itself?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Chihiro gender.
So,
I don't think anybody was thinking Chihiro was a guy.
Presented with the opportunity to check out the.
That's a natural reaction.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
Shoot!
What am I supposed to be shooting at?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting. If you're presented with the opportunity to.
That's unnatural. The victim was so of course I was. There was no time. What's so strange?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Do I need to shoot the first thing?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird.
Oh,
but he was
before we
acting-
found the
if you're
body.
Presented with the opportunity
Okay, now that
to
makes
check-
sense.
That's a natural reaction.
The victim was Chihiro.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, I understand everything now.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting.
No, that's wrong.
Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
I actually do have a lot. It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like he's got nothing to do with it.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is a couple of people who are super stupid in this,
There
by the way.
is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it.
Who are
We
you?
just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh?
Like the rope.
Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
It's actually an extension cord. Which is why I thought it was weird that I said it was rope. Like, I very explicitly knew it was... it's probably the disappearing stain? I guess it could be the lamp.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my bit and I use those same scissors to arrange the body. But Chihiro was it was some kind of rope.
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never
Seen that rope before in my life. Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
It's not rope, though. I don't have the right bullet. Is it the lamp?
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain? When I want to kill, and I use those same. But Chihiro, it was some kind of.
That's right!
Then there must be something.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. Okay, that is the way they want it. I don't know why they didn't say extension cord.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before.
Because it wasn't a rope.
Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room,
No.
then hung her up and wrote that bloody message.
He killed her in the men's locker room.
I
but I don't know how she got in there.
intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
You couldn't have done it in the girls' locker room, but that's fine. There's something that concerns me. The scene of the crime is not good.
You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that.
That doesn't mean that's where she was killed. Little sassy punk.
How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
The missing poster, or the wrong posters, the carpet. I have 2 reasons. I got you off guard, yeah, because I suddenly moved to the same crime scene, and you, who've been confident until now, maybe you never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. I need to focus on those. Okay, it's the locker room carpets and the 2 locker room posters. Those are the easiest thing. Need to focus on the things that got switched, which is the posters. Well, actually, also the carpet.
Proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Or maybe the one dude was... Chihiro's on Makoto's left side, isn't it?
Your proof is some posters?
No, that's Chihiro on the left right there. So technically Chihiro is on Byakuya's right side.
The poster in the girls'
that on my
locker
left
room
side
was...
That's actually Sayaka, who was the first person to die.
a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
Could you imagine being the voice actor who is told you have to say this line? A picture of a big-boobed supermodel. Like...
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Are you serious right now?
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
Also, we literally saw it was the wrong poster.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that it was scrubbed away. It's actually in the boys' room. Depends where they'd have to look at the voice actors. There might be some recognizable people. I have no clue.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, Does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
Yep.
What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
Which distracts you from the fact that it's the wrong locker room.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime?
Do I really have to explain it?
Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
That's the one I'm not 100% sure about. I think it's the spare ones that she used Leon's.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device.
Does she not get that's the exact reason why you would swap the two locations, though? Because I feel like that's the exact explanation of why would you move the entire crime scene.
But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
Holy crap. He's actually useful for once.
I highly doubt that.
Oh, called out.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could they? Yes. Well, if he knows it, why doesn't he just say it? How come I gotta say everything, man? The broken e-handbook.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into...
She must have hacked her e-handbook.
No.
She was the ultimate program. I'm sure that would have been...
No, I don't think that's it.
She used the thing...
Huh? What?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that...
She could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Is it really? Could Chihiro really...
She must have hacked her e-handbook.
Nope.
Shoot!
I guess it's the other thing.
Is it really? Could Chihiro really...
She must have hacked. She was the ultimate... I'm sure that would have...
No, I don't... She used the thing...
Huh?
I'm talking about...
Leon's hand. If she had that...
She could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Oh, am I supposed to fire a broken handbook at it?
Could Chihiro really have...
She must have hacked. She was the ultimate... I'm sure that would have...
No, I don't... She used the thing...
Huh?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook.
Why am I objecting the whole thing, though? I'm confused now.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Cast her top tier talent. I'll have to look it up sometime. I don't know any of the voices, honestly. Like, I haven't heard them anywhere before that I know of. But I could be wrong.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Savage.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It's not wrong.
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
No.
Okay then,
Something's not right.
I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker. But we know that's not true. I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the... You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Hey, we got a recess, Cyclone. We win.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be
It's a trap.
boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the entire class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And when she took us, and where she took us was, is it Chihiro's room? No. What are we doing?
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it
Be
again?
sure to examine the entire body bare.
Examine her. No.
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
Genocide, Jill, shut up.
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay.
Yes,
Here I
Sakura's a
go.
girl.
I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but...
I know the exact direction this is going, and I'm not sure I like it.
What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
That explains why she would never hang out with any of the girls, and it would also explain why she refused to work out with those two.
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact. What?
Hifumi, please.
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
And it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
They do play it quite well.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
Everything makes sense now, though. Genocide Jill threw you for a loop. I get you.
Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes,
Now everything
well,
makes sense.
I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was
Can I
not
get
a girl,
recess?
but a boy.
Yeah, I think we need a recess now. To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. I thought it never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
I mean, it makes it easier to make it look like it was genocide Joe.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
I still don't know who was the killer, though. Was it
connected or
definitely
clear or
Kikuya?
whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder.
Yeah.
At least, that's how I see it.
And he did very explicitly tell me he took the connection cord from the library, which seems kind of overt, like he pointed out. But I don't know who could possibly be a different
Byakuya,
killer.
when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit.
Which sucks, because I really want him
I
dead.
just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
I hate this guy so much. Take all my weeb instincts. Wait, why did he just come across the corpse in the girls' locker room? Like, how do you just get into a girls' locker? It was after they already knew it was killed, and that's why he found it first and knew about it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
I don't know who the killer is.
Go
at
ahead.
all.
Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
Family-friendly stream, Kappa.
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
I did mark it on purpose as mature.
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
You're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
Was it really him? Of all the guys to do it, it's this stupid fluffball?
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
I don't know the answer, dude.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But Byakuya didn't do it. who really murdered Chihiro.
I got it!
Crime scene was in the boys' locker room, so you need a boys' handbook to get in. Leon's handbook is broken. They had to have used their own. Had to have been a guide. That's still not enough. I need to find more clues. Dude, I don't... Library desk lamp, disappearing stain, Celeste's account. Celeste talked to... Who has a tracksuit and a duffel bag? Like, how does that help me?
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim?
The killer!
And it's not like they're just gonna...
Turn the game over, man!
Yeah! No! Not game over!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us? Well, clues. Did nobody get a...
I'm sure if someone saw the
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some...
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Okay, that's how that goes. What are you talking about? Any kind of new info. And then I shot at you with Celeste's account.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
What is this crap?
Shoot!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it? Well, did nobody get...
I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim.
Yeah. All we need right...
It's over.
You want to know who saw
The killer!
And it's not like they're just gonna...
Oh, that's the one I was supposed to shoot.
No!
Got it, I shot the wrong one. Got it. No, everything
Isn't
makes
there
sense
a
now.
single clue? Well, did nobody get...
I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim.
Yeah.
It's over.
You want to know who saw the killer? And oh...
No, that's wrong!
Sorry, I didn't realize that was one I could shoot at. That's on me.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Better get going, I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry, but why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and
who?
I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Because he can't go into the female locker room. We've already gone over that, bud. I'll provide this. Children teaches us tropes. It's...
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
I get where you're coming from.
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much.
I'll be honest, I don't 100% like see them as much as tropes right now. I just see them as storylines because I don't do a ton of anime. My friend was just like really wanted me to try this because it's the most... It's got a lot of visual novel stuff to it, and I really liked Doki Doki Literature Club, but it also still has a lot of gameplay to it.
Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
I don't know who knows.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Do I? Then why don't you just say it, you little...
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
So Chihiro's track jacket really holds some clue about the killer. Somehow it's really hard to believe. It was just a blue and white track jacket. What truth bullets am I giving? It's gotta be a new one that I get.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit, because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to...
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it? First of all, we know where
Chihiro, he was on his way.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose this?
What do you mean, the specific?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit. It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Why would you know that they were... Wait a second. We never said that Chihiro was wearing a blue tracksuit. We just said that Chihiro had a tracksuit. Why do you know that, Mondo?
Shoot.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed.
Celeste's
He was on
account
his
doesn't
way to
say
go
that.
exercise.
So next we have... Why did he choose...
What do you mean, the...
I got it! It matched the one...
So, the killer was wearing the same blue...
No, that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
So I'm stuffing a track jacket, not a blue track jacket, a track jacket. That's what I thought.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
Why did you do this, Mondo?
Before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
I think Mondo was just playing along with it. But I still can't figure out why Mondo would kill Chihiro.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony.
She slipped the jacket in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit.
Lots of types of mood. I can get that.
That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Because I hate him.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick.
Oh, and he said that dude had a real, like, problem when we were talking in the locker room.
And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one.
Oh, called out, Jill.
Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
I do still agree. I don't... Why did he do it?
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
Oh, that's right. Hifumi said he had something
That's
that
what my
nobody knew
little
about.
ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Just say it, dude.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, that, here it is.
Oh, it's gonna be the it's the handbook.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
Chihiro's. Found it on the ground, right? So it must be Chihiro's.
I got it!
Because
We
Chihiro's
know
was missing.
Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
Because it very easily tells you
For a
about
fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence
But they're
after
not-
the murder.
They're not breakable.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Savage.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
There's only one possible explanation.
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that?
But But what is it?
Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then...
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Huh? You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
Like, if you threw it in the
I
furnace?
flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Because this was found in the...
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
Oh! I get it now. And Mondo and Taka would both know that because they spent an entire night in the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
I didn't actually know that, so I've learned something today.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Because it would tell what they have listed as the original gender.
Meaning the culprit.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
Except that Taka and Mondo had spent an entire night.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa! Seriously?
Two people.
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Really? It had to be him because he was the only one who didn't undress.
Here's my answer.
Because Taka completely undressed.
Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember?
Sucker lightly tosses hers through a few walls.
And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets.
So it's not
And when it was
Leon's
all
that's
over,
broken.
Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
So I was right, it wasn't Leon's thing in the mailbox. Mondo went and took Leon's right now, and I bet if you looked at Mondo's handbook, since he didn't have one at all, it would be that.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
It's gonna be the handbook in his literal pocket right now. I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Is it now the rhythm game?
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
Yep.
In other words, if Mondo's hand, then that proves that.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look, Makoto was wrong. Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly.
Except...
Let's test Makoto. If what he said, you broke your own hand. In other words, if Mondo, then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look, Makoto was wrong. Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly.
Let's test if what he said, you broke your own hand. In other words, if then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Hey, nailed it.
No, that's wrong.
Gotta get that perfect sniper shot.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's.
Which means we should be able to look at the one that's in his pocket.
Which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's.
Yes, I word for word just said that.
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Nope.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch. What's wrong, bro? Come on, tell him he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
Dude, Taka is straight up just gonna be the one I'm arguing with.
Then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Closing argument. Did he really do it just to keep a secret? Because if that's true, I'm actually going to be pretty pissed.
Here's exactly what happened. First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime.
No, so all the doors were unlocked the moment that we knew, the moment that he told us there was a murder, he unlocked every single door.
She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, which is why he was able to use... Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster.
Dang it. What? What? It's literally that art right there. It's literally that art right there. Got it.
Here's exactly
No, I didn't want to do that.
happened.
No, I messed up.
Which is then...
Oh, no, never mind. It was right.
And finally carrying the a girl's handbook was, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem.
And he, of all people, knew that because he had to go borrow a handbook. What? 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 So he puts the poster back up first?
The killer is... you! After all, using one of...
Okay, yes. That's stupid. I don't like how
And
that
that's
goes.
exactly how the killer did it.
Alright, I'll see you when you get back then.
With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. could have been the end of things. But no, Byakuya discovered the body and decided to...
do something stupid for no good reason because Byakuya is
So,
just like that.
after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library. And then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body.
I still don't
Then,
know why.
using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget.
So, Cyclone, what you're saying is actually a problem that happens right now, if you're right. Because according to this storyline, they're happening at the same time, but that doesn't make any sense. It would have had to have been before, unless Byakuya is either a girl or took one of the... To be fair, he did know that those were there, but why would he just be going into the girls' locker room for no good reason? I think they actually have this mixed backwards, unless he decided he was going to ruin that at the same time that we were told all about this to go look around.
The killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna, and the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook, and that's how it all played out. Isn't that...
Wait! No, this can't be right. Where's your evidence? You need evidence! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Evidence already was revealed. All I have to do is check that one item in case it becomes clear. Oh boy, what does that mean? Fever time and nega time. What? What the crap? During bullet time battle, if you press the space key, fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push buttons at random, you won't miss. You can push R, RB, L. Okay. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best of your time. However, it wouldn't be fair if you only got access to that special time, right? So he also prepared something called nega time that your opponent can use. Your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher. Got it. It's okay. Keeping beat shouldn't be hard, honestly. That's what I thought. I knew I was going to be fighting him.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. You're corrupt. I refuse to vote. I refute you. False. You're corrupt. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. Show me some evidence. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
Oh, I just have to shoot. Okay, I don't have to actually pick something. I wasn't sure if I needed to wait for evidence to come up, because I kind of forgot about that entire part.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
He's gonna admit up to it at least.
Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
But why? Did you not want your secret out? You little monster? You could have just not killed Chihiro. You could have just not killed Chihiro. Oh, I get it now. You get 10. Okay. You get your score divided by 10, and that equals the coins you get. That's why I got 90 last time.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Still can't get over that animation. It's kind of a ridiculous animation.
What?
Uh-oh. This time it looks like you got it right. Again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mono Owada!
Unbelievable.
Taka chose the wrong answer. Shocker. In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? 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 Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit Control key to fast forward the text. Whoa, fourth wall! Also, why did they just now tell us that? Anyway, there once was a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say things about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shawl, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept that fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you won't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which, of course, included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter what the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack. The armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust in such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling deep in despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But...
Maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger. Also, Cyclone, sadly, the punishment is only for the person who is the killer, so we can't torture him that much. As much as it frustrates me that he killed Chihiro.
That's right. I want to change.
Strong enough that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so, that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be a good idea to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Yep, sure it was. The biker gang fella had been pretty painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep that secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was a very symbol of a strong man Chihiro always aspired to be. Maybe talking to Mondo will help give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo. So... That's not Chihiro. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did. To keep the promise he made to Chihiro. You mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room to the girls' locker room? So everybody still thought. I can get that. Can think of at least 6 better people to talk to. I would have picked, including Monokuma. Oh! I feel like he could have totally talked to me. But I can understand not wanting to talk to the main character.
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been a part of it, but I don't think that was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men that he made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep his secret?
Because...
If everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would be arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have been immediately suspect his identity. So he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he also killed. Why? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you? Any of the girls trained in the locker room. To be fair, Chihiro didn't know that you could get those. From what I can tell, the only people who knew about the handbooks was Mondo and what's his face? Byakuya. Or Byakuya. And that's the problem. So if Chihiro knew about that, that's also correct. But also, it's still a locker room. You kind of have to change clothes in a locker room. So if you're completely changing clothes, it's not like, you know, it's not just there. Because no matter what I did, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone? It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret that he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. I'm sorry. What? What? I agree with you, Cyclone, but I don't know. I feel like part of it's also you don't think about that kind of loophole, and you also don't think that there was no reason to believe that that all of the dead characters, the dead people's handbooks were accessible. There was no reason to believe that. There was no good reason that it should be in that mailbox. It makes no sense at all. Mondo, the ultimate bike gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraffs across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya. Daya? We're just gonna go with Daya because I'm bad. That Mondo even got a motorcycle. Mondo's older brother was the only family he had growing up, but he was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of a starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic old brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the whole country. I feel like this is Daiya, but I don't know, and I feel like I'm gonna sound stupid no matter what I do. The older brother, #1 in the gang, and his #2, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy, which is not a combination you should be having. I'm stuck in the bargaining phase. I totally understand, because I want Chihiro back. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his older brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? Or just make that gang look bad? Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers from the other members of the gang, which is why... I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandonment, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly, his brother say, "Oh!" Lying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course! He knew it was his older brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey, kid. The rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team. You and me put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of everything that happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother, he could never admit to anyone it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team is made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Daya was gonna get himself killed, so he got stupid. Or Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. And that became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so badly, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. Strong, strong, strong. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that would die in an instant. And then the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, it would have been for nothing. That's why Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had in me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness, and I just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before.
I just
didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say. But after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked to start working out with me. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you've kept this secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrapped myself up in lies. I'm weak, but I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret.
Huh?
Huh? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I'd never had. So, I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What? What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong? Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed, and then ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Why did you have to tell me that? Are you trying to rub failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
I really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong. Stronger than you.
Son of a bitch.
And stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand and was just staring down at him. Down on the ground. Hey! I
killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in his heart and like his. And it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him! You see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory, for that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't. You bastard! Just shut up, you son of a bitch! Go ahead and say that again, I dare you!
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. Is what I want to say, but unfortunately, I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing?
Can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now,
That's
well
what
now,
I promised
well
you,
now,
right?
well now.
The blackened that deserves the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold
Now
on.
then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Iwata, the ultimate biker gang leader. No, wait!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I said wait!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Dude. Ow. This hurts, man. Okay, can't lie, I kinda like, what? Like it. I love Monokuma with that hair, though. What? What? I'm not 100% sure how that actually killed him, but okay. What? Dude, that's messed up! What? What? Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. It can't be. My brother. Another murder. And another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I understand where you're coming from. And it frustrates me because I knew there was a better side of him that could have come out, and there could have been so much better that he could have done. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were forced to realize once again. But he, of course, had to. What a disappointment. Is this the end of the game? Byakuya? Byakuya. Byakuya. One of those two. Stupid A sounds.
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead! Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is life or death.
Hey,
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that
However,
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library like usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the light. So you ignored the nighttime rule too. That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't in particularly care. Please, continue. Welcome back, Aquafox. You just missed Mondo dying, and now Byakuya is being a little punk. The late night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. So he must have, you're right, Cyclone, he must have known about he saw Mondo come out, so he must have gone and grabbed a card to go check. What? You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him. Yeah, Mondo really couldn't cope. And it's a shame because I feel like there was so much more that Mondo could have done to become a better person rather than just doing that. He let everything get to him. And it's hard to say that I don't understand that because I haven't been in a scenario where you're told that basically you're not ever going to get out without killing somebody anyways.
Well...
So, you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would have that been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all of that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene?
But...
Damn, man. If we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya looked in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did. And I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become the Blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for.
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes. We're done listening to your story.
Hey.
Moving on. There's something I would like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Ooh, I'm up next!
You...
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Me? Mean? Mean?
What the heck?
Mean?
Damn it!
Good grief! I don't understand why I have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever. It doesn't matter. In the end, I'm gonna stand up and then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh, how
noble
exciting!
son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. No, Mondo wasn't crushing on the girl. That's not why. It was so Mondo killed his own brother, in a way. He was so weak that, and trying to win a race against his brother, that his brother essentially sacrificed himself to push him out of the way and not let him die. And so, from there, Mondo's secret was the fact that his brother died from his mistake. And he wasn't strong enough to own up for the fact that, yeah, his brother died. You should go, if you can, go back and check out the actual ending thing. It has nothing to do with Mondo crushing on a guy. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you are up next. I'm gonna find you and kill you. Understand?
In the name of my family.
For which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up!
It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you! I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper, temper! Sounds like someone needs a nap. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and a curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Amanda. But I knew that it wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue. Because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away!
Shut up. Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh. My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied, because you see, that's my ace in the hole.
He's the bear, he's got no teeth. I mean...
And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Well, it's okay, because we definitely know exactly who the next freaking person to die is, because it's always the person I like. Crazy diamond present. Alright. We're gonna take a quick break, so. I will be right back. Right? This game makes me so sad.
I know I shouldn't cry.
Is this Twitch appropriate?
I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. Getting out of here anytime soon. It's impossible. I can't let myself think about how much I want to get out of here. If I keep thinking like that, I might decide to.
Lewd? Donuts. I need to eat some donuts. That'll cheer me up. Glazed donuts, twisty donuts, jelly donuts, cream-filled donuts, donut holds, malasadas.
Okay.
Oh, God of donuts, I'm praying for a wonderful encounter. Please, forgive me for breaking the nighttime rule. It's not actually on that list, right? I didn't goof, right? Yeah, no, it's not on there. Okay, good. But right now, for me, donuts are absolutely necessary.
Huh?
What's that sound? Sounds like it's coming from the bathhouse.
But...
I'm super scared, but... Could you not? Could you not? Is someone there? What is that? What is that? The morning after the conclusion of the second-class trial. Everyone met up in the dining hall like always, except we're missing somebody again. And I expected it to start like any other day. That's what I expected, but... Today's count kinda sucks, huh? Toko and Byakuya still refuse to show up. I haven't seen Miss Asahina anywhere. She said her stomach was hurting, so she's taking it easy in her room today.
Oh.
That is rather unusual for her. Normally, she is so full of energy. Which is exactly what makes me worry.
So then...
So it's just the 7 of us, then? It looks that way.
How about that?
It's times like this where committee chairman needs to get things going with a bang.
Impossible.
Or not. Taka hasn't said a word since everything that happened yesterday. One look at his face showed that he hasn't slept a wink since last night. Everyone showed up to eat breakfast, except someone. It must be because of Mondo. The two of them became so close, and then he finds out Mondo killed Chihiro. Then having to watch Mondo get punished, and nothing he could do about it. I can't even imagine what it must have done to him.
Well...
So, I mean, what's gonna happen now? We haven't found any way out, and we have no idea if the help's ever gonna come.
It's like...
Now I'm all depressed just thinking about it. We simply have to make the best of things. Do our best to get along and live here together in peace. Forget about the outside world, and just accept this new life. That's the only hope we have now. What? To live here forever?
Well...
Here we have every convenience. We have food, clothes, our every need is seen to. Why are you dissatisfied? In fact, let me ask you this. What is it about the outside world that you long for?
Is that okay?
Competition, discrimination, victimization, and violence. As society grows, so does its perversion. In which case, our situation is not... Demon Angel! Pretty pudgy princess!
Huh?
Here we go!
Maggie, the drill shop owner, the bunny-eared Amazon, Cat Girl, Dog Boy, Robo Justice, and the Galactic King. And what I mean is, there's no 2D here.
There is nothing to be done.
The mastermind put such a base desire to their advantage, bending you to their will.
You know?
Okay, well, anyway. Since Taka's like catatonic, well, that's a big word for you, boy. And as the oldest one here, I'm officially stepping up to take the lead. So, we're all gonna work together and spend the rest of the day searching this school.
I'm
Searching.
right?
Well, I mean, since the class trial's over and all,
Perhaps.
there should be new places for us to investigate. Yeah, that's the ticket. Maybe somehow we'll find some kind of clue this time.
Well then.
Then once we're done eating, let's split up and begin looking around. Do you have any problem with that, Celeste? There may well be a discovery waiting for us, which may further enrich our life here. Yes, the trial is completely passed. We're in the next half hour of the start of the day. No, the point is to look for clues. And just as we were starting to come together, she barged in and ruined the conversation.
You called for me and so I appeared.
Genocide! What? Ah! Nobody called for you! What the? How come it's Genocide Jill and not Toko?
Yes!
God! This place is just so amazing! Finally a place where I can just be my murderous self! Which is why I've decided to stop holding back and spread my wings. No more hiding in a cave for me! Plus, I have another battle to fight. The whole killer with the split personality thing is so overdone. I gotta destroy that stereotype.
You SOB!
Rude? What is that tongue? I'll fight all day and all night to murder those totally slanderous cliches. But you are a killer with a split personality? If she weren't here, my chances of survival would go up at least 10%. Great, at least now we don't have to worry. At least we don't have to worry about Jill. Oh, wait. Come on, you gotta back me up here. Even the biggest stars need the little people to hold them up. I feel like it's just another It's literally the same voice as Monokuma, but I can't do anything about it. Well, whatever else we do today, first we should eat. We can't do anything on an empty stomach. You're right. Let's hurry up and eat so we can start our investigation. So we were forced to eat breakfast with a murderer. And after a much needed but very annoying meal, we set to work looking around the school. So on the bright side for me, I officially have, at least that victim complex is gone. Except that her other personality still has it. So they're just both there. As Celeste would say. This is fine. Also, almost 100% sure that's going to be my new loot emote. I'm fairly confident I'm going to use that as the new loot emote. Is that love room open now? Because there was one locked room that was over there. To the right here. It is! The nurse is now open. Ah, it's open. So I guess we can get in here too now. It's literally a doctor's office. With the mini fridge? A refrigerator. They must use it to keep drugs and stuff cold. Actually, usually don't they keep blood in refrigerators and stuff like that? Love room. There's a heart on the door! Cut me some slack! It's a normal trash can. There's nothing inside, so I really don't need to spend any more time thinking about it. I didn't even get a coin. Okay. Well, that was pointless. So there's another staircase up there. What is that original staircase way over there all about? I'm not talking to you. I don't remember ever going in that room. There's the new staircase to the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor, Hope's Peak Academy. I wonder what we're gonna find this time. What's up here? I mean, you know what the easiest way to figure that out is? You look at the map. So you have a physics lab, the equipment room, class 3B, class 3A, the rec room, and the repository and the art room. 3B, 3A. Let's go ahead and check out the rec room. So this is
Let's see.
a recreation room, a place for students to come and relax. I would have never imagined a school having a place like this. Well, no normal school would. It has Othello, shogi, and even a dartboard and pool table. And look at this. They even provide us with a remarkable number of magazines.
Isn't it wonderful?
Those will certainly be helpful in keeping our boredom at bay.
Listen up!
Ring, ring, ring! Hello there! Allow me to expound. We've got fashion, motorcycle, martial arts, video games, basketball, science, and all sorts of magazines. Oh, but nothing dirty. This is a school after all. If you need a quick fix, check out the swimsuit mags.
So then...
Lewd! Will you be adding to our collection as the new issues come out?
Too bad!
Sorry, no can do. Even if I wanted to, right now magazines are kinda what? Oops! Nothing, never mind. No. Anyway, that's it for my expoundation. Bye-bye! What he just said. I know, right? It bothers me too.
Most unfortunate.
Life here would be much nicer if we could add some new issues once in a while. How disappointing. Really? Hey look, it's Othello that I don't know how to play, actually. Does anybody actually know how to play Othello? Oh, good God. Some kind of bottle, but it's got a Oh, they're chess pieces. Why is Monokuma holding chess pieces in a bottle? That's really weird, actually. You know how to play Othello? Well, there you go. I don't even know what the game really is, to be completely honest. I just know it has the pieces, but it's also not Go. Doesn't seem especially important right now, so I don't need to open it. Or is it Go? Because that looks a lot like Go to me, just with a really small board. What's the difference between Othello and Go, I guess? Is that a slot machine? A pool table isn't normal school equipment. Is this thanks to Monokuma, or did the school buy it? There's even a dartboard. Did Monokuma put this here, or was this always part of the school? Leave the area, yep. And I think this puts me... Oh, no, it doesn't. Even though I could have sworn there was a room connected to it. Oh, no, I'm super wrong. How's it going, Kyoko?
It would seem...
After a brief investigation, it looks like there's a physics lab, an art room. Also found a huge machine of some kind in the physics lab. I wonder what it does. Gambling to forget our pains. Bible thumb. You're not even wrong, dude. This game, I swear, targets the exact characters that I love. It's like, oh, you spent time with this character. I guess they're gonna die then, huh? At first glance, this looks like any normal art room. Lewd, I can't show that on Twitch. Something seems off. Multiple somethings. Like the art on the back wall? Could you not zoom in that way? There are paintings lining the walls. Is this really art? It looks like a bunch of crappy graffiti. Hey, get bent! That would be the question. I know as Go is like shogi and really Japanese chess. Othello is really easy though. You basically have sandwiched the opponent's pieces with your own. It would be more interesting. Classic art is better be allowed. True. Venus de Milo though. It would be interesting if that actually is rigged that way to kill the characters you spend time with. I already know that's not true. I just have really, really bad luck. Is this a statue of Monokuma? Who would ever want to make something like this? Although to be fair, they do very clearly push you towards Sayaka at first. I actually went back and tried to pick. You literally can't pick somebody else to spend your free time with. You don't have a choice. So they do push you towards certain people, and I think they try to pick the most likable people to kill first. But I'm not sure. Doesn't seem like there's anything inside. What is that? It's a statue of Neo. I've never really heard of anyone using a Neo statue for life drawing classes or whatever. I don't apparently know who Neo is. Well, look at all this equipment. It certainly scratches that artistic itch of mine. Art supplies is... Of course, but they've also collected all sorts of sculpting tools. So, Hifumi, do you like sculptures and figurines and stuff?
Yes, indeed.
Well, normally I limit myself to 2D, but figurines are like borderline 2D, so it's okay. I don't know how that's borderline, but okay. I'm a fan of Charanobo, Pumpkinhead, and I especially anything that is Saburo Ronpongi makes. Charanbo's ability to express the movement of muscles is exquisite, seen in his Mama Cat series. Borderline 2D facepalm. You're not even wrong. I know we got a figurine addict, guys. Pumpkinhead is like a little sculptor fairy, presenting the century's greatest quality. Saburo Ronpongi, meanwhile, is known for his Mecha Musume series, which led to the worldwide tour. Truly the only thing regarded as the Elite Four. But one of your elite is missing.
Nothing.
Well, the Elite 3 just sounds stupid now, doesn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Besides, that empty seat belongs to me. It begins today. Today begins my reign as the legendary ruler of the next century. I see. Well, good luck with that. This is the repository that's attached to the art room. It's used to store different artsy things. Like mallets, because everybody makes art with mallets. Is that a picture? Something on the floor. It looks like a picture, but I stretched out my hand almost as if it on my own. My hand froze. Is that a picture of Mondo? What's going on? I saw that picture was Chihiro, Leon, and Mondo. And they were smiling. I didn't understand anything he said, but Aquafox apparently definitely did. I'm guessing from that they're actual figure makers that make anime figures. What is this? Questions started racing through my head, one after another. Why is it only these three people? What are they doing together? How come they're smiling like that? When was this taken? Who took it? Where's the camera they used? How did they get it developed? And in the picture, the window in the classroom, there's no metal plate covering it, so it's not here. Which must mean wherever the picture was taken, it wasn't at Hope's Peak. But there was no time to find an answer. All the questions floating around my head were quickly drowned out by... That's mine! Give it back! Monokuma appeared out of nowhere and snatched the photo, and any chance I had to answer questions were evaporated. Ah! You peeked, didn't you? Well, they all had some pretty dazzling smiles, huh?
Isn't that
They were
wonderful?
definitely living their school life. It's like they ripped a page right out of the Book of Use. Deepest lore. Are they all actually? No, from what it looks like is it takes place before this entire mess, but none of us remember it. Something's going on with this entire situation. I'm not sure we're in a real world right now. Like it's supposed to... This is like total tinfoil hat. Something's wrong with the world outside, and that's why all of this is going on. They need us specifically trained, and I'm really confused. They were definitely living their school life. It's like they ripped out a page right out of the Book of Youth. What's going on with that picture? Do you know? I'm not telling you nothing. And then he's gone. You little turd. Why can't you give me a straight answer? Never mind. I don't know why I bothered asking. It's gotta be the sickest fever dream talking to a bear. Well, I guess... I'll be honest, I couldn't really care less about this stuff. Wooden mallets hanging on the wall. Probably used to make sculptures, I guess, but whatever. Like a bunch of 3-year-olds' drawings. So we got a cart. Let's look at the cart. A dolly. Must have to move the statues around. Okay, that makes sense. Cool, we're just gonna peace out. The ultimate fever dream victim. See, but that wouldn't make sense, because then why would they make a sequel to this game? Not that, like, I should know about that, I guess, technically, but... Oh, wow, that's cool. Into the physics lab. What? This is the physics lab. It's less like a classroom and more like a lab. Sorry, more like a research institute, also known as a lab. Hey, Taka, don't you think this place is like some kind of research institute? Still no reaction. Go figure, Taka's still broken after his best friend got killed because he killed somebody. Oh, come on! Why's it gotta be her? Why can't it be Toko? It's super disorganized, and there's a chemical smell in here. This place is so relaxing, so calming. The smell of formaldehyde is almost unbearable.
I'm getting seriously excited!
I don't know if I want to be here. It's just so tempting. I just want to dunk myself right in it. Of course Genocide Jack likes it. That goes to show how disgusting it really is. It really is unbearable. A nice long bath in a tub of formaldehyde. That's true happiness. Just thinking about it makes me... Why did I talk to her? Why did I think that would give me anything interesting? This is a tarp. There isn't anything strange about it, just a tarp. It's a tarp! Are those thingies that you put stuff on? Yep, covered in dust. Obviously haven't been used in a long time. Okay, so I've looked at basically everything here. Did I get to look at the actual giant machine? Because I definitely don't know a thing about it, and that seems like a very dangerous thing to do. What's up with this ridiculously big machine?
Watch out!
Rude. What? What? You want to do some quantum leaping? Huh? It's a time machine. Pretty awesome, right? It was designed by a student right here at Hope's Peak. The ultimate physicist. Although, they don't go here anymore. They died during the tragedy. What's the tragedy, friend? A time machine? Seriously? So it can go back in time? Okay, then let me get in there. If I can go back to the past, I can... This time I'll stop Mondo for sure. Oh, sorry, not possible. This particular time machine can only go back in 1 minute. Exactly, right? So it comes in handy when, like you leave your pizza bagels in the microwave 1 minute too long. 1 minute? Everybody's the ultimate. Every single person is an ultimate something.
What?
You sound disappointed. But actually, I was lying about the whole thing anyways. There's no such thing as time machines.
Hey,
honestly, it's just an air That's such bullcrap. Hey guys, look, it's an air purifier.
In other words,
it can produce clean air no matter where you at. With that thing, you could even live on Mars. Okay, that's a little bit more impressive and believable. But what with the discombobulating gravity and deadly low temperatures, you probably don't want to live on Mars.
You guys?
Anyway, the time machine is the reason you guys all have this delicious air. So don't go messing with it. You break it and it's your butt. This huge thing is just an air purifier? I have a hard time believing that, but kind of understand it. With a big Tesla coil in it. I don't think that's technically a Tesla coil, but I don't know, because I don't know what sciencey stuff could that all be. There's like 5, 6, 8 monitors, and more than that. To get out of your way, to go out of your way to say something you know will hurt somebody who's already suffering. God damn you. Makoto, or not Makoto, yeah, that's... If it was a Tesla coil, it should have, it should look a little different, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. This might surprise you. I am not an expert in Tesla coils. They must use these for physics experiments and stuff. There's materials, pulleys, steel plates, magnets, and all kinds of stuff I don't even recognize. This machine obviously has some kind of purpose, but can it be gambling with the timeless? Set the glass down for a moment, but not the top. Yeah, no, I totally understand. At first I thought I was Tesla coil too, for sure. I don't know anything about physics to begin with, so I wouldn't have a clue where to start with this. Better look around a bit more. Oh, okay, be that way, you little turd. Still get to piece of machinery as an aircraft fire. Is that really true? Excuse me? Oh, it's the camera up there, right? Oh, wait, what? It's a digital camera. It's got some weird anime style design on it. It's kind of beat up, but it looks like it still turns on just fine. Yep, it still works. I should show the others later. You know what, guys? I think I figured out what time it is. One sec. Yeah, it is that time. It's time for the end of the stream. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed seeing that crazy class trial and all the stuff that went into it. I'm gonna miss Chihiro, and